Hey guys, do you know that over 500,000 businesses are registered here in the UK every single year? Well, today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the key things you actually need to make sure you think about before you actually start that business to help you make sure that it is as successful as you actually want it to be. Now, the very first point you need to understand before you actually launch your business is the fact that you need to understand your why, okay? Why do you want to start this business? What is your reason? Your reason might be perhaps because you want to make more money. You want to be able to, choose the relationships, the kind of working relationships that you establish. Or it might be the fact that you want to have more time for families and friends. For a lot of people, their why might also be because they want to have that flexibility when it comes to working at their preferred location, okay? So your why is very, very important. And I think that before you actually launch that business, it's very important for you to think about the reason as to why you are doing this. Because when the tough moments in your business actually comes up, ultimately your why is going to be one of the biggest factors that will actually help to push you on when you come to those stumbling blocks in your business. Now, the next factor you need to consider is your risk tolerance. Yes, starting a business actually comes with its own risk, believe it or not. Depending on what business it is you're planning to launch, some business ideas will carry way more risk than other business ideas. For instance, a business, doing construction, for instance, will carry a whole lot more risk than a business, doing things like knitting dresses or sewing dresses. So it's important for you to factor in what exactly the amount of risk it is you're going to be carrying on as a business owner will be if you're actually looking to launch a particular business. Another thing you want to think about is, are you looking for another job or are you actually looking to start a business? Because a lot of people, when they're starting their businesses, actually don't realize that you have to have a different kind of attitude, a different kind of mentality coming forward when you are a business owner. Now, a lot of people don't realize that the attitude and mentality that you carry forward as a business owner is definitely different to that as an employee. And if you're not careful, you might actually be applying the employee mindset to your business. And trust me, you definitely don't want to do that, because doing this can be one of the easiest ways for you to actually fall into the pitfall and actually fail in your first year of starting your business. Other things you want to bear in mind is considering the stability of a 9-to-5 versus the instability, or rather the fluctuations that come about with actually starting a business. Another thing you might want to bear in mind is the fact that, do you actually have a backup plan? Okay, if this business doesn't go according to plan, do you have something else to fall back on that you would actually be able to sustain your lifestyle with? When you're starting a business, it is incredibly time consuming, particularly in the early years of launching your business idea. I remember when I started my accountancy business, it was actually very, very intense, okay? And years on, I am now actually in the stage where I'm able to actually work a couple of hours a week and find that perfect work-life balance. But at the very start of actually starting your business, it can be extremely difficult to know how to navigate and how to actually manage your time. Because let's face it, as a business owner, you're responsible for wearing so many different hats. You're responsible for marketing, probably finance, advertising. There's so many things that a new business owner usually has to be involved with and take responsibility of, particularly at the start. So it's important that you're aware of just how mentally tasking starting a new business can be, and asking yourself, are you prepared for this? Are you prepared for the fluctuations in your business activities that may happen? Are you prepared for, the seasonal cash flow variations that may happen when it comes to actually starting your own business? The next point to consider is, do you have enough resources? Are you actually ready to start a business? Do you have the capital required? Are your startup costs in place? Ideally, do you have a business plan that you've actually set up that you are going to follow, and what does your business plan actually say about the financial viability of this business that you are looking to start. In most cases, a lot of people will usually need finances of some amounts to actually get their business up and running. This can come from maybe friends and families, relatives, or sometimes it can come in the form of a startup loan or even through your personal savings. But it's important to actually ask yourself, do you have enough funding in place to fund your business till it gets to the point of actually being viable as a business on its own? So at this point, you want to make sure that you're reviewing your cash flow projections for the business. Obviously, you would have done this as part of setting up your business plan for this business that you are looking to launch. So one thing you definitely want to do is to review what your cash flow projections are looking like. Obviously, you may have done this as part of your business plan already, so it's best to obviously review those figures and see what the viability of that business idea looks like before then going on to the next steps. The next point you want to think about is characteristics. A lot of businesses that fail in the first year, usually it's due to the fact that business owners that are launching those businesses don't have the right characteristics in place to actually make it through their first couple of years of business difficulties until they actually reach the point at which the business is successful. So you need to be asking yourself that, are you determined enough to see this business through? In the first years, are you actually willing to commit the time, the effort, and be disciplined enough to actually stay and sustain this business for the next 3 to 5 years? Okay, because on average, it will take a new business at least 3 to 5 years before you actually see whether or not it is profitable and it is worthwhile. In the first years of your business, it's very important that you are able to actually pivot and think creatively when it comes to problem solving. There are going to be so many things that you're going to have to deal with as a new business owners, and some of these things you may not have had the experience before, but it's important for you to actually be able to think outside the box. A lot of successful business owners usually have the discipline, the motivation, to actually push through difficult phases in their business. So if you're looking to actually start a new business, this is one of the key points that you need to be ensuring that you have actually thought through. Okay, am I disciplined enough to see my business through its difficult stages? Do I have the ability to think creatively when new problems arise? Do I know who to go to when problems arise? Do I know what type of research I will need to carry out to find out the things that I may need to know as a business owner, but I might not actually be sure about that? It's important to understand that it's not every problem that actually comes up in a business that you would have seen before, but you do need to have problem solving abilities to actually enable you push through the first couple of years of starting your new business. Hopefully this video has provided you some useful things to think about before you actually start your business. Okay, do make sure you grab a copy of my Smart Startup Checklist, which you can find the link to down in the description box below and also pinned in the comments section down below. If you haven't done so already, please do make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. I will see you in my next video.